the first Lunch with Lisa live, coming at you over, hopefully, I don't know where you are in the world, but it may be your lunch hour. It may not be your lunch hour. It's lunch here for us. And the reason why I wanted to start doing this, where the idea came from, is that people ask us a lot of questions about our business, about the way we travel, our parenting, our pets. Like, we think people just want to know business, but people also want to know lifestyle stuff and how you kind of make it all work. And then from the business side of things, people are constantly asking us questions all the time about, how do I make this work? What's my right next move? What strategy should I have? I'm really stuck with this. So it's a place for you to come to get on the spot tips and ideas about your business and about your life. And I'm going to be answering your exact questions. Exactly what you give me is exactly what I'm going to talk about. So not pre-scripted, not preset. I'm just kind of flying off the cuff with what you want to know. So let's just dig into the very first question. And if y'all don't know, this is Eric.
Hi.
Most of you know Eric, my husband. We coach together, play together, parent together, drive each other crazy. Together. Okay, what's the first question? Let's jump in.
First question is, Lisa, did you freak out during the Facebook Insta crash?
Did they both crash yesterday? I think they did.
I know Facebook did, that's for sure.
Did I freak out yesterday?
It's actually been all week, just so you know.
It's been all week?
Yeah, it's been like on and off all week.
So then only certain people got affected by it at certain times, or what do you mean?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, they had news reports and stuff about it, but basically, the way I understand it, I don't know, so don't quote me on this, but it was like different outages across different countries at different times, and it was like intermittent. Some people couldn't even get on, some people couldn't do Facebook Lives, but then other people were fine. Yeah. I think it was Facebook's way of changing their algorithms again.
Probably. I'm sure they were doing some sort of massive update, but did I freak out? The answer is yes, at first. Because as a business owner, I didn't freak out about, oh my God, how am I going to reach my clients? I can't post. I can't tell them about stuff. I can't offer stuff. I can't deepen relationships. At first, I honestly freaked out because I thought, am I being like hacked? Like, because sometimes when you're doing a lot of stuff online, Facebook can put you in Facebook jail for God knows what. People can get in and start messing around with your stuff. And when you start to run ads and grow and scale and get bigger, that was honestly my first thought was, is there some sort of like security breach? And is it something bigger and deeper that I need to look into? When I realized that no, lots of people are having problems. It was Facebook, Instagram, they're owned by the same people or company, that it was like their issue. I was like, I'm good. And the reason why I thought I'm good is because I have other channels set up in my business to be able to still connect with you and dive deep with you and educate you and teach you and make offers and deepen relationships. And those are, I've got YouTube, I've got LinkedIn, I've got my podcast, I've got my blog, we've got a strong email campaign, we have our website. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of other ways that I connect with my ideal client, and it's something that I own. Because we think about Facebook and Instagram, there's a prime example of if that sucker, granted it was down for what, a day, maybe not even a day.
Yeah.
If that sucker were to go down for like a month, what would happen to your business? How would you monetize? How would you reach out to your ideal people? How would you keep those communications going? Would your business run? Because a lot of influencers and coaches only run their business on social media. People say, you don't need a website. You don't need email. No, you do. Because here's a prime example of, let's just say you're running a group coaching program and you do all your videos live in a Facebook group every month, and Facebook disappears. You've lost all your content. You've lost all your videos. You've lost everything. So I didn't freak out at all because I've got a website. I've got other things kind of built. And that's not to say that you need to go and create all of those all at once. That you need to, oh my God, I need a podcast and a blog and a website and LinkedIn and YouTube and I master one. And then once I have one ticking along, then I add what the right next choice is for me. Like the end of last 6 months, end of last year to this year, I really started getting into public speaking. And that's one way to have a part of my offline business. And YouTube, I was like, I need a strong YouTube channel because that's how people are going to start looking at me as a speaker. And that's when I added that one, right? Podcast, speaker with YouTube. So it's like you kind of grow at the rate that something makes sense that you need it, but you need to have other channels set up outside of Facebook and Instagram. So no, it was like nice. I was like, I'm just going to put that aside. And it really kind of made me think about, okay, when I can get back on, what do I want to share? Like, do I really need to share every single thing that I eat, every single place that I go? Because we get caught up in that as well, that you're never actually living your actual life. You're so busy snapping pictures and going live that you're missing like the here and now. So I actually think the Facebook crash was a great thing, and Instagram crash was a great thing because it made us more present with the people that we love, and so we should. So I think that's the answer to that question.
All right.
What's the next one?
Lisa, do you and Eric ever fight?
I'm sorry, what? Do
you and Eric ever fight? Like fist fight?
Do we ever fight? Of course we fight. Do we ever fight?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course we fight. That's an interesting question. And yeah, I mean, I think that goes back to, it kind of ties in actually, ironically, with talking about Facebook and Instagram and sharing every moment and sharing only that highlight reel, that we think everyone has these perfect businesses and perfect marriages and perfect parenting. Perfection doesn't exist. And what is perfect? You kind of get to decide what is perfect in your life. What do we usually fight about? I don't handle when I'm tired, like when I don't do self-care, when I go and push and go all day long, day after day after day, I get really emotional about things that I shouldn't get emotional about. Like I make up stories of what I think Eric is thinking, which is totally not true. Like you'll say something and I'll be like, why you gotta say it that way? Like, I know I'm frustrated, I know I don't have dinner on the table, or I know the laundry's up there and you've done it the last 7 times. I know I never help with laundry. And I like create these stories in my head that aren't true when I'm tired. So I think that's one thing that we fight about, is that I assume a lot of things that you're thinking, that you're mad at me or you're disappointed in me or you expect me to do something and I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm. And I kind of create a fight when there doesn't really need to be a fight. So I think that's one of, what else do we fight about? That's it.
Not a lot.
No, I think we've come to a place in our marriage where we just talk so much about everything. Like you're the first person that I tell everything to, mm-hmm. good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah, I think we've gotten to a good point where, like, we were first dating, our fights were a little bit more like, I don't know how to say it, like almost hurtful. Like we wouldn't watch what we would say. Because we wouldn't not that we wouldn't care, but we would be like, like natty, right? Yeah. Now we realize like obviously we're more mature, but the fight is like, it's fair, right? Mm-hmm. Like if we have a valid point or something, it'll be like, you really offended me. Like that upset me, right? Yeah. Whereas before it'd be like, you're just a bitch. Right? And it's like, whoa, okay, that's unnecessary, right? It's like, that really upset me. Like, I know it might not have meant anything to you, or you didn't mean it that way, but that's how it offended me. Like, I know we both do that now, where we'll be like, okay, that wasn't necessary. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't have said that. You're right. So like things like that before probably would have been a bigger, fight.
Very reactionary.
Yeah, now before. It's just like, you didn't need to say that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. I apologize.
And I've definitely stopped making, again, the assumptions of the stories, but also I think we have to be very careful with generalizations. Like, you're always lazy, or you never do this, or you always think this, or it's like, I think we meet each other where we're at in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really hard to do, because I know I grew up in a family where we just didn't really talk about anything ever.
Yeah.
Like, good, bad, or ugly, like death in the family, or like we just didn't talk, we just avoided it. And then same with arguments. We could be very reactionary, yelling and screaming at each other, walk away, go to our bedrooms, come back. And it was almost like that never happened. Let's just be one big happy family now.
Mm-hmm.
And we never talked about how we felt. We never apologized. Like, the words "I'm sorry" were not words that were used, growing up. We just didn't say that to each other. It wasn't modeled to me. So I never said I'm sorry. I was like, I will never assume that it's never my fault. I am never sorry. But you have to say I'm sorry. Like, it's, it's just such a, even if you don't understand that, just like, I'm sorry that this happened. Even if it's like,
help me understand it.
Help me understand it. Yeah. Like,
I didn't mean, like, I'll say that all the time. Like, I'll say, like, I did not mean it to be that way at all. So tell me what I did, because I don't understand. Like, please, I apologize. I don't know what I said or what I did or how it came across.
Yeah.
I think two things too that I think that one is the effects of, like, being tired really push us a little bit, and then stress. If we're stressed, like, I know for me, even the other day, like I said to Lisa, I'm like, I literally have to go upstairs and just lie down for like 15 minutes. And it was because I was like tired. I woke up a couple times in the night because Oliver, and we have a new kitten. So the kitten was like, 4 a.m. he's just like tearing up the bed and like bumping into us. So it's like, you can't, like, I don't know, like for me, like Oliver woke up, and then I ended up getting up, and the cat was like going crazy because I got up. So the cat's like on my back. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get up. It was like 5 a.m. And I'm like, I'm just going to get up. But then 2 o'clock hit, and I was like, I am like exhausted. I need to go lie down, because I know that's obviously not everyone can do that, but because I knew that if I didn't, I would get to the point with Lisa where I'd probably get frustrated, stressed, tired, and say something or do something I didn't mean to do. Whereas I just lie down for 15 minutes, and I told Lisa, I'm like, I'm good now. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, and that's the difference, is that, like, personal responsibility of when and even sometimes with you, I'll be like, I don't have the capacity.
Yeah.
Like, that's like my new phrase. I'm like, I don't have a capacity right now. I need you to help me handle it. And that when I say that, I truly mean that. Like, I don't have the capacity. Like, I need to recharge. I need to reset. And that's like, you take your nap. I'm like, I don't have the capacity. I need a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And off we go. And it's like, we communicate that so much better to each other. And I used to get so mad when he would take naps. Like, mad. Because again, in my family, we grew up, we didn't nap. We didn't stop. Like, we constantly went. So naps to me were like a sign of laziness. So I was like, you're going to go take a nap. Like, I have so much to do, and we have so much to do, and you're going to go take a nap.
But I noticed too, the thing with naps too is that they can't be more than, like, at the most half an hour.
Yeah, you can't get into that REM sleep, like deep sleep.
When I go to nap, it's a nap. Like, I hit the pillow and I'm like out. And then it's like my alarm, 15, 20 minutes. I might snooze for 5 minutes, and then I know that's it. I got to get up. And it's usually 20, 25 minutes. Like, really, what is it? That's a break, right? That's like a typical break in the day. It's like, even that, like, when I worked in an office, I did that too. Sometimes I just sit there after lunch or on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd be like hitting a wall, and I would just sit at my desk and just close my eyes and literally just sit there like that.
I know people that nap in their car.
Yeah, or go to your car.
Nap, right?
Go get some fresh air or whatever. And the one thing I want to say too is that,
is this lunch with Lisa, or is this Eric talking all the time?
It's lunch with Eric.
Okay.
I said that to you. I told you it should be lunch with Lisa.
Okay, go. You go.
Fighting. That we don't go to sleep without resolving the fight. I mean, it might not be perfect. Yeah, but that's one thing that we do.
You used to sleep in the spare.
Yeah, I'd sleep in the spare, or
not that many times. Like a couple times. I can think like maybe 1 or 2 times you slept in the spare.
Yeah.
I was real mad at you.
Yeah. Well, I would try to come to bed, and you would just tell me, get out.
I'd roll over.
Yeah.
No, I never said that. I would just roll over. You'd want to come. I think it's called like stonewalling. Maybe. I don't know. You would come and try to hug me. Hug
Yeah,
me.
or she's
come and huggle.
Yeah.
Hug and cuddle. Huggle. I think it's maybe a new word. You come and try to huggle me.
What I'd really do is I'd
And
take the cats and I'd cuddle with them and lie with them on the couch in the spirit room.
I know. You get your love no matter what. So I think, so we don't do that anymore. We make sure we talk. And because, again, you just never know. Tomorrow's not a given. So is it really worth that argument? It's not, right?
Yeah. Well, and it affects, like, then you're not going to sleep good.
Mm-hmm.
And
Totally.
it affects your next day, and then it goes 2 days, 3. Yeah.
Like, you wake up the next morning acting like you got the best sleep of your life. Yeah. And you're so mad. And really, you're just like, you're the worst sleep ever because you weren't next to the one you love. Because you were so like silly and fighting about nonsense. Yeah. So I think the moral of this whole first live is just like personal responsibility. So whether that's in your business, what channels do you need to set up so that you're always in control of how you interact with your clients, and then personal responsibility in your relationships. You got to know when when you're not going to be your best self and what needs to happen to make sure that you're always trying to show up as your best self. And when you don't, because that's reality, we're not going to be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. How do you then go and make it right? How do you then communicate the best of your ability to make it right? Mm-hmm. It's all in that personal responsibility. So, yay. So, yeah, I'll keep every Friday. We plan to do this. I think you'll be with me most times. We'll see. I like when you read the questions because then I truly don't know them. And then I can't prepare, which is what I like. I like that kind of challenge. So we'll be doing this. So submit your questions to us. Would love to know what you want to know about business, health, life, parenting, all those goods. And I'm going to be directly, since you talked a lot, we are going to be answering all your questions.
I can't just ask questions.
I know. You
don't pay me enough for that. I mean,
yeah, you watch it. All right, before we get into a little marital spat on our first live with Lisa, thanks for tuning in. If you're catching the replay, post below, let us know your questions, and we'll see you again next week. Bye for now.